This has just gotten pretty ugly, everyone. You won't believe what transpired between Kimbella and Rasheeda. Karlie read Yandy. It went beyond a simple shady side eye or a clumsy Instagram comment. No, it was an outright, unrestrained public assault. And you know what? Yandy was left crying for assistance while Kimbella just stood there in utter shock. But hold on, how did things end up this way? How did the situation spiral out of hand to the point where security had to intervene? Why did Karlie and Rasheeda? The internet is on fire, the streets are on fire, and from what I understand, this was a well-thought-out, brutal takedown that had been simmering for some time rather than a sudden outburst. To make things worse, there are receipts, yes, real receipts, and let's just say that friendships and reputations will be ruined after you hear what Rasheeda and Karlie said to Yandy and Kimbella F. This tea is hot and boiling, so grab some popcorn. This will be the most tumultuous tale you have heard this year. When I tell you that Rasheeda and Karlie Red went off on Yandy, I'm talking about a full-blown betrayal, screaming battles, and a public humiliation so ugly that even the producers of Love and Hip Hop were probably clutching their pearls. You may never see these women the same way again after you know the truth, I promise. Let's begin. This crisis has been boiling for years, and if you've been paying attention, you could have seen the clues. The hostility between these females didn't start last night. Let's set the stage for a high-profile event you can attend because, even if you saw it coming, nobody could have guessed how big of a blow it would blow up. And when I say that this wasn't just a dispute, Kimbella, I mean it. It was a deliberate attack by Savage, and the fallout is going to turn pretty ugly. Are you familiar with the type of celebs, influencers, and reality TV? Personalities that are packed into a lavish space that has VIP tables and an open bar that is stocked to the brim. You already know that something is sure to explode up when you mix free cocktails with unresolved conflict and reality TV. Personalities, and boy did it. Together, Rasheeda and Karlie Red were spotted arriving at the event, looking stunning in matching designer gowns, glammed up and radiating the confidence that comes with knowing you're going to steal the show. And Kimbella and Yandy were already inside, sipping cocktails at a VIP table while appearing completely unconcerned. But believe me when I say that the vibe altered the instant Rasheeda and Karlie walked in. This is because sources claim that Rasheeda and Karlie had been attracted to Yandy and Kimbella for some time. It turns out that Yandy had been discussing more than just small-time rumors concerning Rasheeda's business activities. As you are already aware, Karlie's relationship with Kimbella and Yandy is a complete catastrophe. Behind the scenes, these women's years of back and forth have been nothing but drama, complete with phony apologies, dodgy interviews, and public makeup. Yandy had apparently been calling Rasheeda and Karlie opportunists and clout chasers, suggesting that they weren't really pals. Rasheeda refused to put up with Yandy's overt attempt to take advantage of one of her most valuable business relationships. These women aren't as intelligent as you may imagine they would be to keep their charm intact in a public setting. Witnesses claim that Rasheeda and Karlie approached Yandy and Kimbella's table immediately, carrying their drinks. Fake grins and passive-aggressive small talk dominated the exchange at first, but then, and this is where things start to get interesting, Rasheeda leaned in close to Yandy. Yandy's expression changed immediately when he spoke into her ear. She sat back as though she had just been slapped across the face. Her eyes grew wide, and her smile disappeared. Karlie set down her glass and said, "Oh, you know exactly what's wrong." Yandy jumped up, her face flushed, and Karlie was already on her feet before Kimbella could ask her what was wrong. It was providing the pre-fight atmosphere that you witness right before someone. "Why don't you tell Kimbella how you've been trying to steal my business contacts?" Rasheeda shouted loudly enough for everyone to hear after grabbing their earrings. Yandy's eyes widened, and her jaw dropped open. She went to Rasheeda and added, "You're delusional now. You'll know Karlie doesn't play that, sis." Yandy wasn't about to back down, though, and she hit back, saying, "Delusional? Oh, honey, even if the screenshots didn't support the claim." Because Karlie had those conversations locked and loaded for this particular moment, it is evident that this was not an accident. but rather a calculated attack. Karlie had screenshots of Yandy contacting one of Rasheeda's business contacts to undercut her transaction. According to reports, that's when things went wrong, when Carrie allegedly lunged across the table and took Yandy's drink out of her hand. Yandy gasped. Witnesses said Rasheeda was already moving when Kimbella sprang to Yandy's defense. Kimbella was warned to stay in her lane by Rasheeda, who took her arm. Rasheeda is accused of pushing Kimbella back against the table when she withdrew her arm. Security finally stepped in and pulled them apart, but the damage had already been done when Yandy screamed like she was in a horror film, and Karlie's sister was only getting started when she stretched out to strike at Yandy. The hashtags #KarlieRack, #RushyDivers, Sandy, #Kimbell, in shock and baby started trending on Twitter within minutes of the cameras filming. The internet wasn't holding back. There were ugly memes everywhere, with one tweet claiming that Karlie read and snapped that Rasheeda wasn't ready, and another claiming that Yandy had learned the hard way not to tamper with Rasheeda's luggage. This is where things become even more complicated, though, as there are rumors that Rasheeda and Karlie weren't done. Her telling Rasheeda that if you thought this was over, you're wrong. This is just the beginning. Rasheeda's and Karlie's subsequent actions are simply the beginning and will lead the situation to worsen to an extent nobody could have predicted. Additionally, Kimbella and Yan will have to discover the hard way that Rasheeda and Carrie are not game players. Keep an eye out because things are about to get considerably messier. This is because the minor confrontation between Kimbella and Rasheeda Carrie Yandy was the start of a larger dispute rather than a sporadic outburst. From what I've heard, Rama isn't keeping quiet about this because the fallout is going to get real. The streets are talking about it, and bloggers are talking about it. Let me explain what transpired after Rasheeda and Karlie were ejected from the party by security because insiders say this is how it began. Security stepped in and separated Kimbella and Carrie when Rasheeda shoved Kimbella and Carrie tried to take Yandy's wig. Witnesses reported that Rasheeda was still yelling, "I know exactly what I did," while Karlie was smiling and asserting that she had received what she deserved. Bella and Rasheeda were essentially pulled to the other side of the room, and Rasheeda and Carrie were escorted to the exit. On the other side, Yandy was enraged and holding her. The gag is that they weren't the ones who were hauled out. Oh no, it was Yandy and Kimbella who were expelled from the event, and they were telling security to get them out of here after drinking or whatever was left of it. Until now, the whole thing might have been written off as a misunderstanding or an overly passionate dispute. But when the video became popular on social media, the whole scenario changed drastically, and the tapes were all over in a matter of minutes, trending very instantly on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and #Karlie, grab Yandy, or #hurry to attack and #Yandy pleading for rescue. Yandy really thought she could steal Rasheeda's deal and get away with it, according to one commenter on the Savage tweet, which said, "Oh honey, this isn't LinkedIn, this is the streets." Another commenter claimed that Karlie Red had been waiting for years to steal Yandy's wig, and now she had done so. The situation changed at this point because, according to multiple sources, it was no longer merely about business dealings and dubious comments. Not to mention the TikTok reactions, where baby people were acting out the fight and everything. One meme showed Karlie holding Yandy's wig like a trophy with the caption, "Winner takes all." Another showed Kimbella looking shocked with the caption, "When you realize you backed the wrong team." An unnamed insider claims that Rasheeda and Carrie were ready to spill the beans following their altercation because they had been keeping some extremely important information concerning Yandy and Kimbella. Anonymous sources are typically correct, as you know. By alleging that Yandy had been scrambling behind the scenes to secure a significant endorsement agreement with a fashion business that Rasheeda was also negotiating with, Rasheeda and Carrie already intended to expose Yandy and Kimbella. Snapshots of emails and texts from industry insiders, including a leaked phone call in which Yandy allegedly said that Rasheeda's time was done and that they needed someone younger, are among the proof that Rasheeda's team allegedly gathered after learning about the transaction weeks ago. After the party, Karlie allegedly texted Yandy directly, threatening to reveal the truth, stating, "You tried it. Now the whole world is going to know who you." Yandy's team is trying to minimize this by saying that the leaked messages were taken out of context and that Yandy was just weighing her options. But come on, we're not that stupid, and if you think the industry wasn't watching this as it happened, you're wrong. Karlie wasn't fluffing, really, because a mystery gossip blog within hours of the fight revealed a detailed account of Yandy's alleged attempt to steal Rasheeda's endorsement deal, including those leaked messages. Numerous insiders claim that the brand in question has already retracted their offer to Yandy. And guess who they are now talking to? Rasheeda? Rasheeda just used this whole situation as a power move, but Yandy is in a downward spiral. It is said that she has been calling everyone in her circle to try to change the story, but the problem is that the screenshots, receipts, and video of Rasheeda and Karlie dragging her are all available. Sis went live on Instagram the next day and stated, "I don't start drama, I finish it." And Kimbella, oh poor Kimbella, is stuck in the middle. There are rumors that Yandy is now thinking of suing Rasheeda and Karlie for defamation. But let's face it, what exactly is she going to sue them for, being honest? Not to mention that Rasheeda and Carrie are now making fun of that. Karlie recently posted an enigmatic Instagram story that read, "You think that was bad? Oh honey, we've got more receipts." This is not over and is going to escalate into a full-fledged social media war. The real question is, if Rasheeda and Karlie have more dirt, why are they holding on to it? Are they waiting for the right moment to drop the bombshell? Are they trying to play a longer game, or are they just sitting back and letting Yandy dig her grave? However, this is far from over, as from what I've heard, Yandy is already planning her next move, and I assure you that it won't be pretty. The truth is that Yandy has already lost the endorsement deal, and her reputation is already in ruins. If Karlie and Rasheeda release more content, it will be over for her, and poor Kimbella will be left wondering how it all went so wrong. Stay tuned, because the next chapter of the scandal will be shocking when I tell you. This drama has officially gotten out of control, and the fallout is now affecting everyone involved. Let me tell you, Yandy isn't looking good. If you thought this scandal couldn't get any messier, you were mistaken. What happened after Rasheeda and Carrie attacked Yandy and Kimbella didn't just happen at that party, as if Yandy didn't expect it to. People with knowledge of the situation say Yandy's team wasted no time in trying to clean up the mess, and within hours of the incident, they were trying to control the narrative and spin the story by calling gossip blogs and PR firms. Oh, it was classic damage control. They said that Yandy had been singled out because of her success, that Rasheeda and Carrie had ambushed her and Kimbella, and that the attack was completely unprovoked. Does anyone think that? But the receipts, leaked screenshots, videos of Karlie snatching Yandy's wig, and footage of Rasheeda pushing Kimbella are all over the internet and social media. One tweet said, "I was ambushed," as if we didn't see Karlie reach across the table and snatch her bald. Another said, "Ambushed, baby. You got dragged. Just take the L and keep it moving." Keep getting worse. One of the most well-known ones shows a wig on the ground with the caption, "Gone but not forgotten." But this is where things get even messier because Yandy's attempt to change the narrative backfired badly. And it appears that Yandy's team was too busy fixing the damage to notice that Carrie and Rasheeda were already ahead of schedule. Carrie posted on Instagram a few hours after Yandy's PR statement was made public that she genuinely thought she could change the narrative. Karlie, was right there in the comments, hyping Rasheeda. Thereafter, Rasheeda went live, and when I tell you, she revealed everything. She said, "Yandy wants to talk about getting ambushed. No, sis, you got caught. You've been talking behind my back for months trying to steal my deal, and he really thought I wasn't going to find out. Honey, I've got the receipts, and if you think what happened at that party was bad, just wait a few." Let them know, sis, that they're not ready for the next release because, yes, Karlie and Rasheeda weren't done, and they have more screenshots, messages, and dirt on Yandy, according to sources, and they're waiting for the right time to release it. But first, let's talk about Kimbella, who was involved in this mess, and from what I've heard, is starting to regret her loyalty to Yandy. It appears that Kimbella didn't know that Yandy was pursuing her behind Rasheeda's back. According to sources close to Kimbella, she feels taken advantage of and caught off guard because Yandy didn't tell her about the business deal or the shady remarks she made about Rasheeda and you all. The fallout between Kimbella and Yandy is starting to show after the party, as Kimbella unfollowed Yandy on Instagram. Yes, unfollowing Yandy is the equivalent of a public divorce in the world of reality TV. But it gets worse because after Rasheeda's live, Yandy reportedly tried to reach out to Kimbella, but Kimbella wasn't responsive. This is where things really start to get serious because there are now rumors of legal action. Yes, Yandy is reportedly discussing with her lawyers the possibility of suing Rasheeda and Karlie for assault and defamation. Sources close to Yandy's team claim that she is considering both criminal and civil options, and she is trying to portray the situation as just that. Kimbella returned her calls and then posted an enigmatic message on social media that read, "I'm loyal but not stupid." Regarding the defamation claim, the receipts, messages, screenshots, and video footage are all authentic. So how will Yandy demonstrate that Rasheeda and Karlie lied? Meanwhile, Rasheeda and Karlie, they're not concerned at all. In fact, Rasheeda's lawyer even issued a statement saying that Rasheeda is prepared to defend herself against harassment and public humiliation. Good luck with that, everyone, because as far as I'm aware, snatching a wig isn't exactly against the law. The biggest fallout from this whole scandal was Yandy's business reputation because, as you may remember, the major luxury fashion company that was involved in the endorsement deal that Yandy was trying to steal from Rasheeda officially dropped her as a possible brand partner. And guess what? They're now negotiating with Rasheeda. The accusations were unfounded, and shortly after Yandy's legal threats were made public, Karlie CIS posted a story saying, "Girl, please don't sue someone for telling the truth." The story has already been widely shared by the Love and Hip Hop producers, who say that they have already scheduled a meeting with all four women to discuss it on camera. But you already know that won't work out. To make matters worse, Karlie posted a picture of Rasheeda signing the contract with the caption, "We secured the bag honestly, boop." One insider even said that it's not a question of whether they fight again. The only question is when, and from what I've heard, Yandy is already planning her next move and intends to reveal some secrets about Rasheeda because, as you may remember, she and Rasheeda were once friends. Let's face it, Yandy isn't going to let this go. Her reputation may be in ruins and she may have lost the endorsement deal, but you're mistaken if you think she's going to sit back and let Rasheeda and Karlie win. Knows information about Rasheeda that the public doesn't know, so what will happen next? Will Yandy use her receipts to get back at Rasheeda? Or will Rasheeda and Karlie make another shocking revelation that will ruin Yandy's career? All I'm saying is that you should listen carefully because the next chapter of this story will be even messier, and I assure you that this tea is far from over. All right, now that you've heard everything I need to know, what do you think about this messy situation? Do you believe Yandy was genuinely trying to steal the business deal from Rasheeda? Or is this all just a miscommunication gone too far? What about Karlie? Did she go too far? Or was it appropriate for her to take Yandy's wig? Let's face it, we've seen Karlie get messy before, but this was really bad. And let's not forget about Kimbella. Should she always be there for her girl? Or should she start separating from Yandy after everything that happened? Based on what I've seen, Kimbella might be. The real question is, however, will Rasheeda still win if Yandy responds with her receipts? Or is Yandy going to reveal something that could ruin Rasheeda's reputation? Let's talk about Rasheeda's boss move, who not only got the deal Yandy was trying to steal, but she also left this mess looking like a winner. Ready to pick a side, and to be honest, it's not looking good for Yandy. Please share your thoughts on this. Do you think Karlie went too far, Or was Yandy asking for it? Who was really at fault here, Rasheeda or Yandy? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and enable post notifications because, trust me, this drama is far from over. What's coming up next will have everyone talking, so stay tuned. Since the upcoming phase of the scandal, well, it's going to get much stranger. In the next one, you